I'm trying to find where I want to settle down. I'm still kind of close to the creek. I want to move in a little bit more, but the hill is a bit much. I was hoping to make a little bushcraft shelter tonight to sleep in, but the conditions that I want are all the way up there. I like those tall, skinny trees that are really open on the bottom, and there's a lot of good dead wood up there too. But that with my sled situation is a little unlikely. So I found a possible way up coming up here. It's not too steep, but there's just a lot of like stuff around, like broken trees and whatnot. But I'm thinking if I can't drag my sled all the way up there, I can at least like portage it kinda and bring it up bit by bit. Okay, this is take one. Let's see if we can get the sled up. Probably not, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna take my snowshoes off for this one actually. It doesn't look snowshoe friendly. Is this heavy? Yes. Can we do it? Maybe. It's a little steep. I don't know if you saw all that, but that was so hard. But low-key, I killed that. I actually did a great job, so. Look at where we're at. This is exactly the type of forest I'm looking for. There's tons of great deadwood here, standing deadwood. If I can just find a good level spot. And I was looking for trees exactly like this that are kind of like a pole at the bottom and don't get dense until the top, because this is what I want to tie my tarp to. So let me just find a spot real quick. Welcome to paradise. All right, I think I found my spot for the night. I found the flattest spot I could. It's not perfectly flat. It's on a tiny bit of a downslope, but I think it's the best I'm gonna get. I just gotta clear some of these dead trees out of the way. But I'm thinking to kind of set up my tarp shelter right here and have the fire right there. There are a couple standing dead trees in my vicinity, which I'm gonna cut down just for safety reasons, but I need wood anyway. Now the real work starts. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I think the sun sets around 5, I want to say. Maybe a little earlier, because there's a big ridge line over there. I'm going to set up my camp. I'm going to cut down some trees and process the firewood. I'm going to make dinner. I got a sick dinner plan for tonight. I'm very, very excited to be here. Alright, so I cut down all the dead trees that could potentially kill me in my sleep. So now we gotta process them. I need a lot of wood. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna get pretty cold tonight. Right now it's about -6, but I think it's getting down to like -20 later. There isn't really any hardwood at all in this area, and so we're just dealing with softwood, which burns a lot faster, so we're gonna need a lot of it, so we better get chopping. In case you're wondering why these branches still have green on them even though they're dead, it's because of this moss, or maybe it's a lichen. It's a lichen or a moss, and it's called old man's beard, and it kind of looks like hair or an old man's beard. I did not kill a living tree, in case you were worried. I also just got this new axe, and I'm testing it out today. It's from Beavercraft Tools. I'm working on some kindling right now because everything around here is wet. Alright, so I've got my fire going. I've got my shelter built. I'm not really sure if you can see it, but I gotta start on dinner. I'm starving. So I'm just unraveling my sleep setup in there right now, but this is what we're working with. I have a little floor, a little wall, and a little roof. And for our first course, sausage. Cooked in a little bit of water in a titanium pan. Ew. Wow. That's an appetizer. If you don't feel appetized after this, I don't know what to tell you. That's fire. She may not look like much, but she is everything to me. Wow. So let me tell you what's on the menu tonight. I'm thawing out my vegetables currently because they're like rock solid. There was one day when I was in Iceland last summer. I was cycling around Iceland for anybody who didn't see that video. But I was cycling on this day that was just so bleak. It was rainy and it was cold and windy and there was just no escape from the bleakness until I pulled up to this little diner or like rest stop. And the only two things on their menu was a ham sandwich and lamb stew. And so of course I got the lamb stew. Actually, I got the sandwich too, but I got the lamb stew. And it was just like the most wholesome, hearty meal that you could ever want. Like it was like a warm hug in a bowl, you know? And that's what I'm going for today because I figured after a day like today and with the weather, I could use a warm hug in a bowl. So I've got some potato, carrot, onion, and of course lamb, and a few spices. This is where I put my oil, and this is where I put my spices. This is frozen though. lamb stew with carrots, potatoes, spices, onions, and a little bit of ashes and debris from the forest floor for that extra earthy flavor. Wow. A little salt. Listen, I knew it was never going to be as good as the Icelandic people make it, but this will do. It actually did not end up being as cold as I thought it was going to be. It's only like minus 10 or 15 right now, Celsius, so it's like cold, but it's not frigid, you know? And I'm cozy. So I'm all wrapped up in my sleeping bag. I got the fire roaring beside me. I got my hot Nalgene by my toes, keeping my toes warm. I feel like I'm going to sleep so good tonight. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm feeling toasty and nice. I'll see you in the morning. I slept pretty good last night. I thought I'd have to get up and tend to the fire to stay warm, but I was actually so toasty in my sleeping bag, I didn't even bother getting up. I kind of just let it die. I had just a tiny bit of smoldering, like just a smidge of smoldering when I woke up, so I just lit it with that, and it's going pretty good. It's probably about 7 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's like still pretty dark outside. It was such a clear night. The stars are out, there was like no wind. Now we wait for sunrise. We got him, boys. We got him. I want to say thank you for coming on this tiny little adventure with me, and I hope you have a great day.